My name is Kendra Barnhart. I am a support accountant out of the Chambersburg office here with SEK. I joined SEK in 2021. Prior to joining SEK, I did have some private bookkeeping experience and have been dealing with QuickBooks for 15, probably 17 years now, actually. Graduated from Frostburg State University, have my bachelor's degree. Currently with SEK, I work with small to mid-sized businesses, ranging from construction, now working with churches and some small nonprofits. I am going to go ahead and share my screen here in just a couple minutes with, actually, I'll go ahead and do it now. I do have a sample company that I can bring up with QuickBooks Online. For those of you who answered our polling question with the, can everybody see the screen, Christina?
No.
I believe it's, no?
No, I just see you. Now,
right.
Yep, now I see it. Craig's
Okay,
Design
perfect.
and Landscaping.
Yes, that's
okay,
it.
Great.
All right, fantastic. So a lot of the questions that we have been getting recently revolve around QuickBooks Desktop going away. The short and long answer is yes. Unfortunately, QuickBooks Desktop will be going away. We do not have a official sunset date yet. If we had to give our best estimate, we would say within the next 3 to 5 years into it, we'll be doing away with QuickBooks Desktop. Their options are going to be QuickBooks Online, which we're going to delve into a little bit this morning, as well as QuickBooks Enterprise, which is essentially a more robust QuickBooks Desktop experience. Obviously, this is a QuickBooks Online seminar or webinar. So the different levels that are available out there for QuickBooks Online, they have 4 different options, and I'm just going to very briefly go over them with you. The first and the most simple is the Simple Start. We do not recommend this for any of our clients unless they are a very, very small business that is essentially kind of a second job or a hobby business. It has very limited reporting and very limited functionality. It's really essentially just for a more robust checking account system. Basically just tracking checks that you wrote, bank recs, and stuff like that. Going up, we go into Essentials. This does allow for a little bit more reporting options. It is the base level for small businesses. One feature that was just recently added would be able to track time for payroll. And that is roughly $290 a year. The third level is going to be QuickBooks Online Plus. This would be probably best suited for the small to mid-size nonprofit organizations. They do allow class tracking. And Plus is the first level in where you can record your budget and run your budgeting reports, the budgets versus actuals and those type of reports. They also offer, that's the first level where you can get recurring transactions or memorized transactions. The final, and I'm sorry, I don't know if I mentioned, that's $410 a year roughly. The final and most robust option is going to be QuickBooks Online Advanced. I want to kind of link back here to Aaron's presentation earlier with segregation of duties. This is something that QuickBooks Online has really been working on, and they have noticed the need within their clientele. QuickBooks Online Advanced does offer workflows and customizable user options. So what that means is you can go in and specifically set up your users and handpick what they can see and what they can't, which is a new and vast improvement that QuickBooks Online has made in the last, I think it's been about 6 months. The workflows that they're working on, I will be completely honest that they are not perfect yet. We're still kind of seeing some struggles and some roadblocks with that. But essentially how they're setting it up to work is you will go in and set up a path of, for example, like when you're entering bills and paying bills, this user is the person who enters the bills. Then it is automatically emailed, sent to user number 2 and user number 3 should it need to be. So that's something that I'm very excited for with QuickBooks Online, and one of the improvements that they're making, and proof that they're actually listening to the clients and what we are suggesting for them, as far as what our clients do need. I see there's a chat here. Yes. Kate Anderson just said TechSoup offers discounts on QuickBooks Online for nonprofits. I'm glad you mentioned the discounts. We actually can offer a discount through our Pro Advisor system here with SEK. Our discount is 30% for the first year. QuickBooks Online is $820 a year, and we could give you 30% off for that first year. I did also want to mention that one of the limits for some of the smaller, lesser packages of QuickBooks Online is the users, and that is sometimes what inhibits people from going with one of those lesser values. Essentials, you're limited to 3 users, plus is 5, but advanced, you can have up to 25 users. So that's sometimes where we do find those limits. Over the past few years, when we have done these, we have discussed quite a few limitations that QuickBooks Online has. And I want to go ahead and go over where we are, give like a progress report of where QuickBooks Online is in fixing these limitations. As I just mentioned, users. Users are definitely becoming more advanced and complex. I think now they're up to 8 different default users. And then as I mentioned with advanced, you can have customizable. So then your possibilities are endless. The only restriction is you can only have 25. But if you want to have 25 different options, you can. They also have what they are calling non-billable users, which means you can have somebody who only goes in and views reports. So for example, if you want to give your board member the option to go in and only review reports, that user, that report only user would not count against your 3 users, 5 users, or 25. Something else that we have also mentioned being a hindrance or a downfall of QuickBooks Online would be their reporting options. I am going to go into much more detail with reports, but as you will see, that has come a long, long way. And then what I wanted to show you guys here on this first screen is what they call the dashboard.
Hey, Kendra, before you jump into that, there are 2 questions in the question and answer tab. One is, what about if I have several QuickBooks accounts set up currently on the desktop version? I can set up as many quote companies as I need.
Yes, so that is still a downfall of QuickBooks Online. So yes, in desktop, you can have multiple different files within your one desktop subscription. That is not available yet in QuickBooks Online. So for somebody in your instance, we would recommend going to QuickBooks Enterprise, and that option is still available for you there to have the multiple files under the same subscription.
Okay, and then the other question is, can I set up different checking accounts without being charged for each account?
Yes, so I will actually touch on that after I show this dashboard, because that's going to be a part of this. So yeah, thanks. So going here, this is what they call the dashboard. And before, I would say at least within the last year, they have come a long way with customizing this and really suiting this to whatever your business is, no matter what type of business it is, how big or small. So this here would be per user. It's not a one size fits all anymore. And you can come in here and you can customize your layout. Obviously, you can pick what is the most important, and you can add or remove different options. This is not an advanced file here that we're in for the sample company. so it doesn't have as many options. But we are told that it's not available, obviously, right now. I am limited with the sample company here. That whenever the workflow, um, whenever the workflow is finished being designed, you will be able to come in here to your dashboard and see everything kind of similar here to this tasks. And it'll say user A sent this workflow, user B sent this workflow, and you'll be able to jump directly into that. Leading into the next question here with bank accounts. Yes, you can connect as many bank accounts, credit cards, and even loans as you would like. And you can link them directly to your bank account. If you come over here to this screen, you'll see obviously this is a sample. But I know a lot of nonprofits have multiple different funds, different savings accounts. You can link just about any sort of bank related account. One thing I will proceed with caution on with credit cards is if you have one main account, but let's say you have 10 people who have those credit cards or who have credit cards linked to that same account, each card will have its own transactions. So it can get quite complex. So as great as a feature as this is that it will automatically bring over your transactions, it can get quite cumbersome when you have 10 different people out there with a credit card. So it's great in that you don't necessarily have to wait until you get a statement if people are not great with submitting receipts, which so many people aren't. So that is one of the benefits and one of the things I like most about QuickBooks Online is being able to directly link and have up-to-date information with your bank accounts as well as your credit cards. What I wanted to spend the most time on, like I said before, was reporting. QuickBooks Online has come a long, long way, and they have a fairly new feature that I think a lot of you will benefit from. And it's going to be over here with these management reports. But to get there, I wanted to show you something else here quickly. A new feature that they have is where you can automatically have reports emailed. It's like I think they call it a scheduled send. So what I wanted to show you was it's actually a municipality that I work for. They send this report out on a weekly basis to let their board members know that they have checks that need to be signed. So what you can do is come in here to your check detail report. You can customize it, the name in any way you prefer, as well as however you would like to filter it. So if you have multiple accounts and you only want your board member to see your operating account, or if you only want them to see checks written off of a certain fund, you can obviously sort it by that way. So just for purposes, we're going to do checks written in this quarter. And if we save this, it's going to go over here into our custom reports option. And you can go down here and click on the create a schedule. And then what this is going to do is you can click this create and send option. And if you want this to send on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, however you prefer, you can do that. If you want to send it the Monday before your board meeting so they can be prepared, you can do that. And it'll send it as a company email. You can add whoever you would like, subject message, obviously. And then once all those options are filled in, you can just click the save and turn on, and it will automatically send those reports to whomever you would like, whatever schedule you would like. Which I think is just a super impressive update that QuickBooks Online has done. The next thing I wanted to show you is over here with management reports. This is, again, a new feature that we wanted to share, and I think it's just a really cool wizard here. Obviously, if you had a logo, you could do this here. And what this is going to do is it is going to create those board meeting reports for you automatically. So obviously there's a couple different templates here you can choose, and it's going to kind of give you a little preview. You can change the title, prepared by this time. Let me go ahead and do this before I forget because it'll give me a error. What I just helped my previous client do was we did it monthly. And you can change who it's prepared by. You don't have to have anything here if you don't want to. It will automatically create a table of contents for you. And you can, what I suggested here was the previous meeting reports. You can just copy and paste your minutes from the prior meeting here. And then you can go in and you can select what reports you want in your package. So let's just pick a few here. We'll do the last month. We'll add another report here. We'll do that check detail report. And obviously you can see here where it says the custom report. So this is the one that we just created that is getting mailed to everybody. And then you can come down here and put any end notes, any other old business, anything else you would like. And then as you can see, our table of contents did update with those reports that we had. And then you can come down here, you can preview what it's going to look like. And then afterwards, you can either export it to PDF, export it as a regular document, or you again have the option to email. In this option, you can send to as many or as few people as you would like. Also, I really appreciate that the email they use is blackhole.intuit. It always kind of makes me laugh as their default. I think this here is just a super big improvement and a super selling point with QuickBooks Online now. Is QuickBooks Online perfect yet? Absolutely not. I think there's still some hindrances when it comes to payroll. Payroll, the hindrance that is with payroll is it's not linked with class tracking. So let's say you have a couple different people and they're all associated with a different class. You would still have to go in and do journal entries to properly allocate all of those costs. But I do think that the reporting that is now available with QuickBooks Online, the customizable options that they're now offering have brought QuickBooks Online much closer to what people are used to with desktop, if not a little bit further with some of their custom scheduled sends and everything like that. Sometimes before with QuickBooks Desktop, there was some issues with there. And then it looks like there's another polling option there. And hopefully the answer is yes, because everybody loves QuickBooks Online. So I did want to leave a couple minutes. Looks like we have about 4 to 5 minutes here. If anybody has any other questions, obviously we can help. And one of the hardest things about doing these webinars is any accounting software can sometimes be very industry or even business specific. So I did want to point out that we do offer consulting services and training. We can help you with your conversions from either if you're in QuickBooks Desktop or Sage. We can certainly help you here at SEK with doing those. And then we also offer on-site training where myself or my counterpart would come out and offer training. And it can be as specific or as basic as you would like. We can kind of suit that to whatever your needs are. So if anybody has any questions or would like to discuss further, obviously reach out, or we do have a couple minutes here if you do have questions.